Hey everyone, Pupsker here, and today in Warframe, I want to talk about the fact that Warframe is never really going to reward long-term farm runs in Warframe. As you all probably know at this point, the longest farm runs that DE tries to incentivize is, I would say, Disruption as a game mode, purely because you can continually get a C drop in a Disruption game mode as long as you keep up with things and kill the enemies on time. Other than that, every Warframe mission is essentially meant to be run in, let's say, 20 minutes, 20 waves, or 20 rotations, whatnot, or less, because it'll cap out at the C-drop rotations, and then things start to get needlessly leveled higher and higher until it's like, hey, there's no real point in farming it, as the only real gained benefit is like a slight affinity boost, really. So why does Warframe hate farm runs so much? I know a lot of people have talked about this in the past, and they've really just been sad about it, right? If you didn't know, Warframe has this great feature. When people play very long-term farm run type game modes, right? They have a full team of like a Korra, Necros, any of the drop things, all of the like Smita Kavats, all of the boosters, what have you. If they farm Warframe too well, you can get locked out of trading. I don't know how often this still happens, but Warframe did this great thing where if you're too effective and too efficient at the game, you will get locked out of trading. If you have such an abnormally high amount of resources enter your account at once through a mission, so let's say you do like a 3-hour full group run of like a Void Mott survival for loot and whatnot, you'll probably just get locked out of trading because you just simply are too good at farming. If you just get too much stuff, Warframe's like, hey, what the fuck do you think you're doing? You might be cheating. Get the fuck out of here. You're not allowed to trade because, hey, maybe you got your things illegitimately and we need time to like ban you maybe. So it's just such a goofy system that they have going on right now. Regular Warframe, right, non-Steel Path, it's pretty easy, zero issues for most people running longer term runs, but once you get into Steel Path, you have harder enemies and better drop chance, better resources, all of that, right? So it's always better to farm Steel Path for any sort of farm run, but other than that, there's no direct benefit from ever going beyond like the first C drop rotation. I really do wonder if Warframe's maybe going to one day change that, but I just don't think Warframe's incentivized to, and they just simply don't care. You have a handful of YouTubers and content creators that make Warframe content based off of like going as far as possible, hitting the level cap 9999 of Warframes. I mean, the ones I generally see is a Nightmare Frame and Grind Hard Squad. It's just sad that Warframe has no real incentive right now of rewarding that type of gameplay. It's just like a cool thing to do, bragging rights, and like for fun type of gameplay. I just really wish they would give people more of a reward for going hours in a mission, maybe have a very slow increase, not really drop chance, maybe drop amount, maybe the same way that levels go up, also increase the enemy's drop. It doesn't even have to be a massive amount, right? Maybe you could double the resource drop amount from like 100% to 300%, from them hitting level 100 to like 9999, and even then that would be like, oh damn, you have to farm hours to get that, you have to farm a lot of time. I know Warframe never will, it's probably too goofy of an idea I should say, and people would like definitely find a way to break the game even harder. You just always wish that Warframe would incentivize hard gameplay modes. And speaking of that, Warframe should still try to put into the game, even if it's some sort of a gimmick, either level cap chooser on a mission so people can like instantly jump into a mission with high level enemies, or just, release a variable level hard gameplay style Steel Path missions. I know that if they wanted to do that, they would have to make it so that it doesn't hugely reward people, because a lot of Warframe players cry foul play and just get sad when they can't do hard stuff, and then they like can't unlock certain cosmetics. But hey, who knows, right? They could always do a sort of roguelike style mission long term. Each section gets harder and harder. Maybe you gain an extra buff or an extra debuff each time, and then your loot just gets progressively better. I don't know. I'm just sad that Warframe, to a certain extent, still does not reward those sweet hardcore players, right? Obviously, I myself am always open and out there that I'm more of a casual, chill Warframe player. I very rarely go like an hour-long mission, right? Because there's just not a huge reason to. I'm more of a just farm, chill, and chat with like Twitch and YouTube chat when I'm streaming type of player. So yeah, all of the gameplay in the background's me simply just running a 40-minute survival as Revenant. Come to the conclusion that I'm just too much of a goober to do long-term runs, because in this 40-minute survival, it's important to note, as long as you're paying attention as Revenant, you're never going to die. But in this 40-minute run, I managed to die 4 times, purely because like I'm just too casual and goobery, and I'm just watching things in the side screen sometimes, like TFT, not paying enough attention. And then when Mesmer Skin gets knocked off by like a lack of stacks, or I accidentally run into a nullifier, I just legitimately do not pay attention and do not notice it. So hey, like I might be not the highest tier of a late game player. No, I'm definitely more of a casual player. No, I do not make videos like Grind Hard Squad and Nightmare Frame where they go to the highest level cap tier. Because when I play solo, I'm just too casual and too goofy, and I get knocked down. And I don't want to ever bother people to jump into game modes with me to like help boost it to level 9999. And I just simply am not quite interested enough to do that. Maybe one day, but hey, I more so would start doing that if Warframe would try rewarding players a little bit harder for doing high tier long-term runs. The only certain things that I was doing this for was because, hey, I need to run a 30-minute MOT survival, or just survival in general, for my Nightwave, and I thought, hey, why not go to 40k? Might as well get that sweet C-drop rotation. Need to level my Revenant a bit now that I'm actually getting Revenant augment mods so that I can have proper Revenant builds, things like that. And it just kind of made me sad. I was just like, damn, there's no real reason to go beyond 40 minutes because the affinity boost isn't really high enough. I'll be maxed out pretty much, well, quickly enough anyways, not quite, but whatever. So yeah, the age-old question in Warframe that makes a lot of people sad. It's one of those that has been asked and talked about for ages, but I don't think Warframe's ever really going to solve it or fix it, because it's a lot easier said than done, and at the end of the day, there's not a huge amount of things Warframe could even give you to reward and incentivize very long-term runs, and they, as a gameplay studio, probably don't want to do that. A, so that people can play more, and B, so that people don't get burnt out playing like certain long-term missions. So hey, it's always weird like that. Let me know what you think. I just wanted to make this video today, just a casual video talking about that. But who knows? It's always a mystery. Warframe, after all, is just a horde shooter, so meh, casual, fun, chill game. But it doesn't have to be if you don't want it to be. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace.